a build-around deck submission here. Which, for those of you not familiar, I play a lot of viewer-submitted decks here on the channel. In addition to submitting specific decks, people can also submit kind of a deck idea, and I try to make it work. This is a standard 2022 build-around, so they asked for me to pair the Moon Dancer here, which says when you gain life, you get to put a counter on this and scry, alongside Ranger's Class, so we can get Ranger's Class up to level 3, and then utilize the scries from this to kind of chain through our deck a little bit as the game goes along. These are also just kind of two individually reasonable cards. We've seen Ranger's Class and a bunch of things in the format, and this card, if we pair it with a bunch of incidental life gain, is going to get very large very quickly. So, how are we gaining life? We have Prosperous Innkeeper as a way to gain life when things come into play. We've got some Kor Celebrants as ways to gain life when things come into play. We've got some Priest of Ancient Lore, which gains a little bit of life when things come into play. I've got Attendant Healer, which is both a payoff for gaining life, and it can give some of our clerics lifelink. And then I've got Dean of the Root here, which this is an interesting one. So at the core, this is a green-white deck. You will note I have some black pathways to maybe cast the front half of this sometimes. But the back half of this, Dean of the Root, actually seems incredibly powerful alongside effects like Innkeeper and Kor Celebrant. This says, whenever you gain life, you can pay 1 to put a +1 counter on every creature you control and give them trample until end of turn, which seems pretty good alongside these various, when a thing enters, gain a life, pay 1 and pump up the jam. We also have a lot of incidental life gain in our Learn package. You've got Environmental Sciences, Basic Conjuring gains life, Pest Summoning summons Pest that gains life. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how this feels today in Standard 22. Thanks for the follow, Siri. Welcome to the channel. As someone who runs an LGS, I back up what Jeff says. They say about tournaments, they're advertising, not for profits. Yeah, the tournaments get people in the door so you can sell other things that are actually profitable. We're on the draw. This seems fine, right? If we get a third land, we get to go Moon Dancer into Kor Celebrant. And Kor Celebrant's more expensive. Kor Celebrant is more expensive than the other cards that gain life when creatures come into play, but it gains life when it enters play as well, which is nice. So it triggers its Soul Warden effect right off the bat, which is great. How long does it typically take you to build around decks like this? So it depends on how new the format is. So like at the start of a format, my build arounds can take me, half hour to an hour sometimes. And like when we're more in an established format, I'm more familiar with the card pool, anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour typically. Lizard Brawl is so good. Yikes. Come on, can we just hit some like running lands here? I really just want to go like Celebrant into Attendant Healer. Alright, well, we'll do this and we'll grab Environmental Sciences, but there's a good chance because we're on the draw, we're just going to be too far behind here with the Mistland drop. Is Blizzard Brawl the best green fight spell ever made? Yeah, probably. You want to rummage there? Maybe. I don't know. This guarantees the land. I'd have brick, so I'm gonna say my play was correct because I would have missed. Oh, I don't have a basic plains in my deck. Shoot. Alright, we're gonna replace one of the black-white pathways with a plains. I was thinking my basics didn't matter, but Environmental Sciences definitely means they matter. Primal Might's a pretty good one. Primal Might's more flexible than this, but I think this is more powerful as far as pure fight spells go. The fact that this gives Indestructible is a pretty big leg up. Dromcom's multicolored, so I don't know that I would put it in the same class as this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and concede. We'll get him in the post-board games, chat. We can't stumble and die all 3 games, right? You know, honestly, maybe I don't want creature lands in here. The tapped later sounds kind of mediocre. I'm gonna put it in the last pathway. This can be a 1-drop on occasion, and then put it in plains. I agree that WotC is far too afraid of splitting their queues up. This is a keep because this is a white source, right? Thanks, Snood. Good to have you around. If they want to trade these, that's fine. No plays, eh? Okay, that's the second white, which is nice. Well, for the record, I didn't add a land. I just changed which lands I was playing. So I didn't, like, knee-jerk and change my amount of mana. I just changed which mana I was playing. One of the things I think Wizards fails to account for quite frequently is they assume that splitting the queue will cannibalize their other formats, but I think they undervalue the number of people who just stop loading up the client when there isn't a queue they want to play. Because, like, it's not just zero-sum, right? It's not like you add Standard 2020 Best of 3, and suddenly the 10 players in Standard 2020 Best of 3 are 10 less players elsewhere. There's also people that are going to play that queue that otherwise just wouldn't be playing Arena. Yeah, exactly. Especially things like the Brawl queue that are a very unique format experience. I think we attack with both of these and make this a 3/3. And then honestly, I think we play Professor and then like go get a Pest Summoning. I guess I could do Basic Conjuring too to grab a creature. Well, let's do Pest Summoning, go wide here. Chase Breaker says, I sort of wish Wizards would have a free draft queue that doesn't put the cards in your collections. It gives people a chance to draft without having to pay for it. I would like a unicorn and a rainbow that's always over my house. And, I don't know, world peace. At the very least, you should have more queues could, like, potentially make them more money. But, like, having just a draft queue completely for free is, Fireblade Charger with Showdown of the Skulls is pretty sweet. How much would you value the rainbow permanently over your home? That's a good question. Trax, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. What are we doing here? What's going on, Floofsy? Thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate the support. Okay, so I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna attack with these. Bumps everything up. Do I have a paper cube? I do not. I have a giant board game shelf behind me that sans a pauper cube is cheaper than most good cubes. Paper magic cards are very expensive, chat. They're very, very expensive. Let's Professor of Symbology. And then grab Basic Conjuring. And this grabs us a creature and triggers our Dean. Skyclave Apparition sounds pretty good. I guess Prosperous Innkeeper or Kor Celebrant also sound kind of banger, though. I'm gonna grab Kor Celebrant here, actually, once we have the Dean in play. If I tried Smash Up, I think my preferred card-esque game, we play Dice Throne with my boys in our playgroup on occasion. I have a Rubik's Cube, does that count? Asking the real questions. I think I want this to be a land. Another showdown here is very scary. Hunt for Specimens, interesting card in their deck. What lesson are they about to learn? Okay. So we get to do this. So make a cat. Cat comes into play, trigger Celebrant. Trigger Dean. Trigger Dean. Grow, my pretties, grow! Pump up, the bump up, the wump up, the jam. I like when we get to do the thing, chat. So that's what I was envisioning when we were putting this together. The Green Dean seems like legitimately very good in this format. There might be a green-black deck that leverages both sides of it a little bit better. My Magic Arena appears to be frozen. I appear to be stuck at the victory screen. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Oh, it says update available for untapped. Let's do that real quick. Hold, please. We won the match too hard. Perfect. Not stuck, just permanently victorious. Something like that. Innkeeper into Moon Dancer sounds lovely. Into Kor Celebrant. That's better than missing, I suppose. See if they have a way to murder my Moon Dancer here. Do. Yoshia, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. I played that before I played the land for the turn. Encourage them to counterspell it. This card is very good in every format it's legal in, chat. Which is all of them. Skyclave Apparition is just so bad against these Dragons decks. You basically have to pick your poison with white 3-drops in this format. You either play Skyclave and are good against the green decks, or you play Elite Spellbinder and are good against the Dragons decks. There's no card that's good against all of them, unfortunately. It's attack to start, because if they kill the Attendance Healer, I don't want to play this. I think I want to play this. They knew what they were doing with this one only triggering the first time you gain life each turn. Yay, magic. I think we're dead. Dead enough. Yeah, I'm supposed to play Gnarled Professor there to play around. Play around that. Probably. Gnarled Professor would have still triggered Innkeeper and made a token for the turn. Yeah, I think I probably should have played Gnarled Professor that turn. No green source here, right? Take a mulligan. This is fine. Skyclave. Taking Basic Conjuring here. Hand's a little weak. I'd like to dig deeper, try and find something decent. Some mono black. Fanka has entered the chat. Sad that we don't have anything to play to add pressure to the board when they're using this to hammer their own life total, but it's nice. Use our mana for the turn. Okay. He's dead, Jim. You've murdered him. I have a 5-drop to play here. That's cute. Solid synergy. The deans are here, chat. So, part of me wants to Skyclave this, but another part of me doesn't want to deal with a 4/4. They're almost out of cards. I think we just Skyclave the Eye here. Just try and cut their card advantage. Because if we can hit them a little bit each turn, this doesn't draw cards. Yeah, it looks like they're playing mono black control with like creature lands and Venka as a win condition probably. You didn't want to go to the zoo opponent? That's so sad. Why didn't you want to go to the zoo with me? Might as well give this lifelink. Goodbye, friends. Nah, I'd totally take a roll the dice build. Sounds like it would be fun for at least an afternoon and get a lot of clicks on YouTube. Morning, Big Mama. I think when I played both of these out together, it was a mistake. I think we're dead here. Maybe the creature lands are better than having black sources in the mana base. Maybe we just give up 2 of the forests and play a couple of the Hydras. Let's do that. I think 1 of each basic is fine for environmental sciences. Yeah, the Hydra land is very good flood insurance for sure. Just all dumps right in and it trucks on over. See, it just doesn't do anything till 4. Well, I mean, keep, I guess. Innkeeper here, because if it looks like we're gonna miss the land drop, we can priest next turn to try and hit it. It's for the follow Crimson. Good afternoon. And I think, unfortunately, we're just gonna be too far behind on the draw this game. Yeah, not getting 2 chances to break serve is the worst thing about best of 1. Definitely feel like a number of these would have been slightly different with a different die roll. Losing the die roll and then having them curve out, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 is big sedge. On the draw again. Aggro deck. Can I just be on the play a little bit? Maybe as a treat? I'm only adding 1 more power to the board here is nice. Gonna ditch the Dean and try and draw the land naturally here, I think. I don't think their aggressive deck's gonna give us time to cast Environmental Sciences. I think it's possible to better balance Magic for the play draw. Do I think it's possible to do more than the absolutely nothing they've done for the last 25 years to balance Magic's play draw better? Yes. I think it is possible to do more than the current nothing they have done. To set a bar that's incredibly low, they could do more than absolutely nothing that they... We've tried absolutely nothing and we're completely out of ideas. Like... They invented the play draw rule in 1996. All right, I'm going to hurt some people right now. The current year is 2021, which means 1996 was how many years ago? Because I said 25. I said it's been 25 years since they've tried something. So, you're right that they've technically changed it since Magic was originally created 28 years ago. However, I very clearly and intentionally said 25. Listen. Finish listening to your NSYNC on your CD player, and when you're done with the movie you've rented, be kind and rewind, chat. I think I want to double spell this turn. We're gonna go Ranger class into Professor. I already got my card that finds me a land, though. Sad. I'm gonna take the Pest Summoning, just as, like, sticky threats. Well... I mean, I guess that's a target for this. CD players, I am 21st century. I downloaded Linkin Park _nub.exe from LimeWire. Oh, LimeWire. Good old Winamp chat. It really kicks the llama's ass. So I always get to enlighten people that don't know this. Someone mentioned IRC in chat. You all are participating in an IRC chat right now. Twitch chat is IRC. I'm only attacking with this because if I attack with everything and they kill this, they'll have a 4/4 to block my 2/2s. What I do to address the play draw problem? My #1 step towards addressing the play draw problem in Magic the Gathering would be signing my contract with Wizards of the Coast that stipulates how much money I would be paid for fixing their game for them. Wizards of the Coast has a lot of incredibly smart people that work for them. They don't need me to come up with fixes for them. It's just like, again, it's just like, man, this set has been deeply unsatisfying. It's been a rough afternoon for Magic Arena stuff. These games have been very polarized. Well, this makes my afternoon better. Thank you, honey. She brought me pizza, chat, because she loves me. Do I want to play Priest? Do I want to drop a counter on this? I kind of don't mind getting this pumped up. I guess playing Priest is better because next turn they can activate this and attack with this as a 4/4, and I want to trade with this in combat if they do that. Yeah, okay, because of their Ranger class, I'm going to play this as a blocker. Alright, sweet. Didn't get blown out by a combat trick. Feels good, man. Probably done with this game. Let's getting up for a little bit. We're going to level up. Even if we keep flooding here, we'll get to level up Ranger class here next turn. I mean, they were missing land drops, so like they wanted to draw a card there, I think was their intention. Just level this one. Do I want to offer the trade of Attendant Healer for Gnarled Professor? I think I do. I don't think they're going to take it. And I think if they do take it, that's fine for us. Okay. I was like, my tokens don't block a giant trampler anyways, so I think getting that exchange there is fine. Alright, you know, really crazy sequence off the top here, huh? Cool, it ain't gonna do it, chat. Alright, I'm gonna try one more, but we spent the better part of this set just getting run over, so if we die again, I might call it a little early on Arena today. maybe our variants will turn around, but... Oh, look, we lost another die roll. Yeah, I mean, this hand's keepable. Okay. Moon Dancer into Celebrants, very good. Yeah, Biomutant was a little disappointing overall, so I'm not going to end up finishing that one. We're going to wrap up today, starting The Last of Us, though. Mid-range decks just aren't very good in this format, Zero. I think Black-White Angels is a deck that's decent that we're going to revisit at some point. But I think more traditional mid-range isn't very good in this best of one format. I think we get this going. Yeah, I'd love an untapped land. How's Orza Venture? We've played straight, we've played Abzan Adventure. I've not played straight Black-White. That's also on my list of things to get to. You consider Elves an aggro deck? Yes, it is. Yeah, the mid-range deck gets stuffed into a box by Epiphany decks for sure. So 23 months, Shroom Dog, welcome back. Cleric Pod. Huh? So do I want to Skyclave this turn? So I can Skyclave the Pyre. I can play this tapped, and then next turn we can Skyclave something else. Well, at least we have something easy to discard here. It's a sweet Cleric to pod through because it gives you value when it comes into play. Huh? I gotta get rid of this, right? Otherwise, their board just goes kind of crazy. Can you find the Abzan Venture gameplay? Up on my YouTube channel. If you look on the very front page of my YouTube channel, there are playlists sorted by format. So there's a playlist of all historic stuff, all standard 22, all modern, all Pokemon Go, etc. Everything's well organized over on the YouTube channel. Try and make it easy for people to find the stuff that they want to watch. Flubba, thanks for the follow. You're gonna have a sack to kill something here, I imagine. Really? Okay. Figured they would have sacked this to kill this. Maybe they're not playing that. So we get to Innkeeper, grow the Moon Dancer. Honestly, I'm kind of looking for a copy of one of our learn cards at this point, so we can grab. No, I'm looking for that. That's the one. JK, LOL. Next turn we get to pop. This is probably a concession Dean here with the root on the back. It's for the follow music, Andy. Yes. Oh, this thing tramples? How did I not know this thing tramples? Oh, this gives trample. Crunch. I was like, I didn't think this trampled. Right, this Dean gives trample. Should our deck be playing the 2/4 Angel? If you'd like to give me a card recommendation, tell me why that card is good, what I should cut for that card, and why that's a good replacement. Tell me what problem my deck has that you're solving by making that change. Notably, I'd point out to you that in this current board state where I'm at, I only have 24 life, which isn't particularly close to enabling Righteous Valkyrie. Do they die if we swing out? I don't know. I do know I'm not dead next turn, and they're definitely dead once I played this, so. That's a very concise way to put it. Having a deck that gains life isn't the same as a deck that maintains a high life total. Okay, I'll count this turn. So I have 31, 47, 54, 64, 71, 79. They have, so 79, they have 12, 18, 24, 29, plus 34 is 54, 63, so they're dead. Okay. I think I counted that right. Opponent is confident that I counted it correctly. Alright, deck. You live to see another game. You got to pop off and you live to see another game. Chat, my deck knew that it was on the ropes there. It needed to get on the scoreboard in order for me to not give up on it. Deck's just like, no, coach, it's not fair. I've been unlucky. Put me in. Get up, Rocky, get up. You just need to threaten our decks more often. Yeah, something like that. Negate. Rude. I will say the Green Dean has been really impressive through all of these sets so far. Feel like I would like to spend more time thinking about that card. Creature lands do in fact count themselves. They just only come into play untapped if they're your first 2 lands. So the fast lands from Scars and others count for 3. These are 2 or fewer. feel like... I'm supposed to jam into this, and specifically jamming a card that doesn't get Shadow's Verdict. This could just be a draw 2. And if this isn't a draw 2, it's a counter spell. We could work on leveling up Cleric Class towards bringing back our Gnarled Professor. I think we get reduced to memory here. This is pretty scary if they're going to make us sacrifice things potentially. The fast lands come into play tapped as your first 3 lands.
Professor Onyx to you.
Okay, so Lair of the Hydra kills their Planeswalker here.
Never thought I'd miss the library.
Oh, I guess if I would have only activated this for 3, I could have spent a treasure and played Ranger Class this turn, and maybe that was worthwhile, getting Ranger Class in under a counter spell. Boomer pre-release tomorrow. First one back at LGS after the Forsaken March. Thanks for the half a year. Good luck in your pre-release. Wow, super punished. For my sequence. Okay, it's not bad. Let's see Delaney of the Wild Mage tomorrow. We definitely can, Semi-Chess. Thanks for the biddies.
New job, new life.
So they make me sacrifice the Dean, and then the Lair of the Hydra still kills them?
You'll learn the power of death.
I could have a removal spell here, I suppose. Because I have the Cleric Class in play, am I supposed to be a little conservative here and try and kill the Planeswalker? Is that the line? Could have what? Oh, the Lair one, yeah. Sweet. So I think I want to make this a 2/2. And then I'm going to send the 2 2/2s at Onyx and the Professor of Symbology at their face. It feels like they have a removal spell here. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to kill them here. So, we killed their thing. I'll be able to level Cleric Class at end of turn and then level again on my turn to bring a creature back from my graveyard. And the creature back from my graveyard can be a Gnarled Professor, which will give me a 5/4, and then it'll draw me something. Oh, I can only level at sorcery speed. Fuck. Is that going to lose me the game? I think it's going to lose me the game. so we Cleric Class. We grab Gnarled Professor. Actually, was I supposed to... Oh, I can't get back... I can't get back the Green Dean, right? I can only get the front side. Wait, are they dead? Were they dead if I spread these counters? I could force them to chump block at least, right? Okay, so we put Tirageared and Academic Probation here. They were dead if I put the 2 counters on here, right? No, they wouldn't have been because they would have been able to block this and take 3/3, go to 1. So this was correct. Okay, yeah, my line's correct here. So they're forced to trade the Desert Doom for this, and then they go to 2. And they're not quite dead on board because they have the Hall of the Storm Giants, and this is going to be able to block next turn. Any creature, please. That'll do big. Honestly, I think we just make this huge, right? I think a guaranteed creature is better than a random. And this gives me an extra life gain to make this even bigger next turn. So if they draw a brick, they're dead here. Animated the land and just killed them. There are no creature lands in my mana base. I have 5 pathways and 2 of these. Oh, this is where the magic happens. Yeah, the Hydra's not very bright. It flunked out. Thanks for the follow, Whirly Boy and Choco. Yes! This entire game is still being played largely because I pushed a point of damage instead of deploying Ranger Class. And my opponent got to mind rot the Ranger's Class out of my hand. So if I hadn't left myself in a position to get Ranger's Class mind rotted and it could have been playing cards off the top, we would have been in an absurd spot here. For sure. I don't know that missing the level on this actually mattered because I ended up sequencing in a way that used all my mana for the turn. I think that was actually fine. The way things worked out, that didn't actually put us behind. Target opponent discards 2 cards, builds. They're just playing like all the... Just playing like all the mind rots. Weird. I actually think the 4 mana Foretell mind rot that draws you cards if your opponent's hand is empty is actually pretty sweet. So it's like a mind rot / draw 2. I think that seems pretty reasonable. And Inscription of Rune is like a mind rot that's a removal spell in a pinch. Like that one's also pretty good, but the one that only discards cards. The modal mind rots seem powerful in this format. We won a die roll! Chat. This is good. We had a couple of decent games. You love to see it. Is that allowed? Should we concede? I'll allow it this one time. Yeah, the mind rots that aren't dead later are pretty good. For sure. Temple of Dragons, reveal Nadar. Okay, you have my attention. This is like a pretty okay, just mid-rangey value thing too that ventures around. Am I pumping up Ranger class? I don't think so. It's gonna like attack. I think we attack for 2, and then we go like Innkeeper into second 2-drop. Probably second Ranger class, honestly. Feels like they have a 2-mana removal spell here. And then next turn, if they want to play this out, we can level both of these, meaning they don't have good blocks. Oh, how did I not realize this was a dragon? I just like... My brain didn't connect that they were revealing this? Huh. That's actually pretty sweet. Because it's wearing a hat, is it? No, it's not. It's just like, it's humanoid, right? Yeah, it's a dragonborn. The humanoid aspect of it threw me off. So if I Rangers class and attack with this, I hit them for 4, but then they have a free attack with this on the backswing. But I think that's fine, right? It gets these leveled permanently, and it encourages them to use a removal spell on the wolf. The 40 months, Paula. Welcome back. Two mana 2/4 is pretty good. Huh? Thanks for the entire year, Chris. I appreciate you dropping off the Prime, even if you're mostly watching on YouTube. Thanks for keeping me around. I kind of want to get this down, but I also want to get a land. I think I'm gonna Professor for Environmental and grab my Forest out of my deck. Do I attack with Innkeeper to put 2 counters on it? Am I happy with this trading for Nadar? I think I am. Makes this slightly worse, but I have other good plays next turn, even if they trade with this. I mean, if they bounced off a Disciple, I'm also okay with that. It'll just let me put counters on something. So like them bouncing off there is a win for me. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. The wolf is now on notice. Yeah, I think our opponent's like straight red-white dragons, it looks like. Well, they did play a River Glitch, right? Velocamus, Lorehold. Insert sweating profusely meme here. Yes, they probably misclicked when they were casting their Dragonfire on my 4/4 is probably what happened there. It's unfortunate. Probably had Velocamus and flubbed it. Solid 2-3 curve here with Innkeeper into this, make a token right away. Basic Forest to the battlefield and learn. Opponent probably playing a sweeper deck, I've had to venture a guess. Shadow's Verdict is the sweeper in this format, so Attendant Healer and Gnarled Professor don't get swept away by it. Well, it's not Swamp number 2. Just ramping up into Mascot Exhibition. Okay. Looking for... I think this Gnarled Professor is going to grab our look for... Well, this means we don't have to worry about Shadow's Verdict. Gnarled Professor here is going to dig... is going to grab us the dig for a creature card. So that way we can look for... We want our Dean at this point. If Gnarled Professor is looking for Dean, does that make Gnarled Professor Sam, chat? There we go. You know, honestly, I think I'm gonna rummage one of these Skyclaves looking for a land. Nice. Yeah, because we can play this and then activate it twice next turn. Would be great. Supernatural has ended? That can't be true. Supernatural isn't allowed to end, chat. It just goes on and on, my friends. It is the show that never ends. They could have a removal spell or a counter spell here. Do you have a Doomblade? Baleful Mastery. Boo. Well, what's the verdict, friend? Just like gas right back up here. Thanks for the follow, Hidden Traffic and Drunk Vision. Good afternoon. Your opponent's had an epiphany. Is it that you're about to get beaten down by a ranger? Rejected! We're gonna go ahead and put a counter here. We'll let them trade 2 birds for one of our dorks if they'd like. Just want to, like, push as much damage as possible, because I assume this was not their only sweeper in their deck. The, field trip drawing Mascot Exhibition seems very sweet in the opponent's deck, I must say. Wonder, is there sideboard just for Mascot Exhibitions, chat? What are the odds, like, 4 of their 7 cards are this? I feel like there's a non-zero chance that's the case. Our little pile of magic cards had an impressive amount of grind this game, huh? We're at 33 because we've been gaining life through all of this. Sinjin, thanks for the follow. Why aren't the pests included in the mascot spell? That's a good point. Did they think something was gonna break giving you one more 1/1? Why was that the way it is? No, come back! I wanted to pump my board up some more, opponent. He wasn't done making my thing huge. It's because Pest needs extra text for their ability. That's probably it. They probably ran out of templating. Stupid paper card games and their boomer text boxes that we can't scroll. They should have just given us one of those, like, unset, the artwork is really small and the text box is really huge. The 0-0 fractal is included if you believe. That's the best answer right there. The 0-0 fractal's actually included if you think about it. Alright, I think with this likely being a counterspell, I want to get my other pressure down here. I'm going to take a basic conjuring, I think, so we can draw something later. Yeah, Inverse, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Oh, there's a Doomblade, huh? Fancy. So, if we brick on the land, we'll probably go Sciences into Innkeeper. If we hit the land, I think I might go Cleric Class into Celebrant. Hit the land. I think I like getting Cleric Class down. This eventually turns into Reanimate. And if we hit the second level here, we can start pumping up the board. And then back a Celebrant. Demi-Lich? Huh. This is probably a really sweet threat in a control deck, huh? Because it doesn't die to Shadow's Verdict. Oh, geez. And this just gets to recast Poison the Cup here? That actually seems great. It's a little hard to cast in straight blue-black with the mana base in this format, but, like, seems really strong. Yeah, I just can't kill on the block down. Huh. Yeah, I suppose it does technically fix for itself too, right? You play like a removal spell, and then you play it for triple blue, or play a couple removal spells, play it for blue. Getting Ranger class down while they're tapped out. Sure, yeah, something like Blood Chief's Thirst, you're basically paying a black for it. It's a neat way to think about it. Not blocking, might as well attack. Yes, yeah, the reduction works when you're recasting from the bin as well. Cling to Dust did rotate. All the escape cards are out. Yep, there's that. It dodges Shadow's Verdict I mentioned a second ago. And not only does it dodge Shadow's Verdict, but it could just recast it from the bin, right? Hey, there's a Skyclave. Verdict seems like a powerhouse this format. It's very polarizing. It's like It's like Skyclave Apparition. Skyclave Apparition and Verdict, they're like 2 or 10 cards. When they're good, they're absurd. When they're bad, they basically don't do anything. Like, you queue into blue-red dragons, and it's super embarrassing that you've put a bunch of Shadows Verdicts in your deck, right? You queue into my green-white mediocres deck, and it looks pretty good. I assume this isn't resolving. Okay, so this grabs a reduce to memory out of the sideboard. So another potential way to deal with the Demilich here. And with the Rangers class leveled up, if we can get this Demilich out of the picture, we're actually in an okay spot to grind here. A lot of creature lands down here. So, with Verdict in their bin, I'm actually just going to go ahead and jump out here. Like I said, with the prospect of Ranger class grinding, I just want to try and not die by mistake here. My favorite standard 2020 deck? I don't know that I really do. The specific style of decks I really love playing tend to really struggle in a best of one environment. Mid-range. Mid-range is a tough sell in this format. There's been a range of things that have been alright. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Last of Us. Seems to have pretty resoundingly good reviews. We're going to start that one at the end today. And as always, if you can't keep up with my variety segments at the tail end, they'll end up in a playlist on the YouTube channel. I've not gotten to Skeletal Swarming yet. It's on my list. That's something that's probably proactive enough that it could be okay. Kind of green-black rampy style thing's probably decent for it. Alright, so when this reduced to memory gets countered, I'm going to level Cleric Class using my treasure and my other 3 mana. And then the 3rd level on Cleric Class gets back Skyclave Apparition to deal with the Demilich finally. He's dead, Jim. You got him. So, this is probably a Salt coming. Huh? With Healer on top, do I wait on the Cleric class? I think I do. This is a creature that notably does not die to the Shadows Verdict in the bin. Can get Baleful Masteried, but not Verdict at least.
Welcome to Witherbloom College, class.
So we ditched the Innkeeper because it dies to Shadows Verdict.
Flunked out. Mwah.
Yeah, the classes have pretty much all played much better than I was expecting them to. So now we attack both of these here. And they can eat this, but then this kills her. And then the Demi-Lich is going to get to Shadow's Verdict my board. But that's also, like, not a big deal, right?
Thank you for all the kindness.
Because I have Ranger's Class. Okay, glass half full. I'm not about to have to draw through this giant pile of shit. So, we'll just consider that one a scry 6 to the bottom, gain 3, and we'll be happy with it. Oh, the Verdict took the Skyclave out of the bin. Good call. Forgot about that. Yikes. Yeah, the healer's still in there for Cleric Class. Oh, God. Oh, Blood on the Snow, recast Liliana, and they have enough to get back Demi-Lich. I think that's probably going to put it away.
There has to be an answer here.
Demi-Lich just recast Blood on the Snow is the problem, right?
Sorry, you don't make grade.
Where is the Skyclave Apparition, chat? Where is my Skyclave Apparition? There it is. Right there. Ask and you shall receive, Jeff. They have Faceless Haven to block for their Liliana. I guess that forces the Demi-Lich to block, though. Not worthwhile. Nah, I can play this and then level Cleric Class, right? Let's do that. Neat. Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. $30 cards in my deck, 34 for my opponent. We've actually outdrawn them this game, which is pretty impressive. Rangers, the classes both give us a good bit of grind. Yes, yeah, they've plussed Onyx. This will be the second time now. Oh, Onyx mills you into Demi-Lich. That's kind of gross. Opponent's deck's got a lot of sweet ideas. They bend blood on the snow and a draw to. That must have been the pickup, right?
To maintain balance, bolster the weak. Ah, my faithful hound.
It's a big dog chip. How have we played so much 22 and not seen Demi-Lich Liliana before? Because while my opponent's winning this game currently, their deck is likely awful against things like blue-red dragons without a sideboard. Like, decks like what this opponent is playing are fundamentally at a disadvantage in a best-of-1 setting. They need a sideboard to really be competitive. Think Mordekaisen's probably gonna finally put us away here. He lets the dogs out, and they are big puppers, chip.
You'll learn the power of death.
Is that our last Dean?
The entire multiverse is my library.
And we have one more. One more, it looks like. There's one there, and there's two over here. It's a real shame we can't reanimate the green side of this. Oh no, chat. Chat, the dogs are so big, chat. Oh no. The biggest boys. It's Clifford the big blue dog, chip. Are we actually playing Melt? Well, Ranger's class means we'll probably deck first, right? I've got like 3 or 4 cards off of this so far. We're gonna take it away. Yeah, it also gained them close to double-digit life too. Is that accurate? You know, I probably should have made this big enough. Yeah, I messed up. I should have made this big enough. Oh, it is big enough because of Rangers. Right, Rangers class is more text. Everything worked out perfectly. It was calmly and coldly calculated. I forgot I forgot my experimental frenzy also did that. Just like we drew it up.
Let's go dig.
Okay. Were they even supposed to foretell these cards? It makes the dog smaller. They're a control deck. I don't think they have room for extra turn spells. They have 17 cards, and I have 22 cards. The dog being a 14/14 rather than an 18 matter? I think so. Like, this would be a 20/20 right now, right? Which is 2 hits versus 3 on 14. This is +6 from having these 3 cards. So remember, they resolved Seagate Restoration this game. So they don't have a hand size. Because, like, now I just, like, okay, no blocks, go to 26. At the very least, they should have attacked before foretelling.
Heal.
Well, I guess they do just get to make more puppers, right? Yeah, probably doesn't matter. You want to bring back the 2/3? Yeah, it's probably right. Get some chump blockers. Alright, I think we're gonna successfully run out of creatures this game. Successfully. I think I'm leaving that there. There's one green Dean left in my deck, right? 1, 2, 3. The problem is... it's probably gonna get counterspelled, right? Maybe I shouldn't have put counters on here because I want to chump block with this, right? Here, submit a Bard class deck. Would you prefer a standard 22 or a regular? I'm not playing regular standard. It doesn't sound fun. Honestly, I don't know if Bard class. I'd have to think on it. Feel free to put it through the forum, but I don't know that I have an answer offhand to if I'm taking a Bard class deck. That might actually be a card that's better in Historic than it is in Standard. Because Historic has a pretty decent range of legendary things. You gonna sweep the board here? And, like, make another dog? Yeah, current standard just doesn't sound very fun. I don't really want to get rogued and Teamer Ultimatum. Like, it sounds like you pop off with Bard class and regular standard, then they cast an Emergent Ultimatum and you die. It's about the timeline that you're working with. Goodbye, friends. I'll make another Mordekaiden thing. I'm sure it's very sweet, the games where you actually get to play. I just don't really have an interest in playing current standard and learning another format. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, they didn't make a dog with Mordekaiden last turn. Did they draw with him? They must have. I guess I could have a Poison the Cup in hand. It's my sideboard. Nothing particularly useful for this. I guess I could do this and to make some 1/1s. I don't hate that. Get our little friends chat. I wonder if we can deck them. Can we deck them from here? They're at 10 cards in deck. They're drawing 2 cards per turn. They can't go up on either of these, basically, right? Because this looks at 3 and this looks at... This is 1, because you draw 2, put 1 back. I have another Cleric Class I can take to 3 to bring something back from the bin. Which might just be Attendant Healer again.
I am never.
Okay, the fact that they're making a dog would imply that they don't have a sweeper, right? And I have another Pest Summoning in my sideboard too, right? So if we can hit another learn thing.
Watch the life essence fade.
They might be on only 1 Demi-Lich. We haven't seen a second. We exiled the first with Skyclave Apparition. They do have Slaplands just sitting there. That's accurate. We also have some Slaplands ourselves. Yeah, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 10 lands in play. And I imagine they've got to be sitting on lands in hand. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12. There's no lands in their bin, right? Oh, there's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They're probably on like 26 lands. So that means 8 out of their 9 plus 10. So they have a good number of spells left at this point. I think I'm supposed to gain 7 with this. That might be wrong with the Dog Illusion in play, though. I think I'm double activating Cleric Class this turn. The question is, what am I doing with it? It could just be Gnarled Professor for another Pest Summoning. It could also just be Attendant Healer. I'm out of ways to gain life though, right? I think I'm just playing this as a 1/1. As a blocker. Gengarate, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back. Skyclave cannot exile tokens, for people that are asking. Oh, you know what? I probably should have gotten this to a 7/7, so it could threaten to trade with Hall of the Storm Giants, right? So I can cast both of these next turn. They have 8 cards in deck. Okay. Am I dead yet? Opponent is using those timeouts up, counting. I gotta imagine they have a lot to count through. They have a ton of options over there. Expecting this to be a saw it coming. They've known about this. I don't even know how many creatures are left in my deck, chat. At one point, we bottomed 6 lands with a... At one point, we bottomed 6 lands in a row with, what's it called? A basic conjuring. No! No, shit. We're dead to a Doomblade. We're dead to a Doomblade. We tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Or something. You'll learn the power of death.
We're so close. We're so close. Oh, this deck is sweet. I wish this format had a best of 3 so we could play something like their deck and feel good about it. Like, I guess we could play something like what they're playing and just concede to all the decks that have counterspells in them or dragons. Because their deck seems really good against creature decks like what we're playing. I guess that's kind of what you got to do, right? You just got to pick what you're gonna play against and what you're not. Predicted its thing. I feel like this deck was successful as far as its build around intention goes, of like having this work with Ranger Class. We got to see that a couple of times. Honestly, my biggest takeaway from this set was that Lisette, the Dean of the Root here, was like really impressive. I feel like her, alongside specifically Innkeeper, is probably something worth exploring in other places. Potentially inside of a, there's probably a decent green-black shell that's like Prosperous Innkeeper with Lisette and then some other pest-based things. And you can play this for more learn. Maybe it's a Sedgemoor Witch deck even, but her, you pay 1 and put a 1/1 counter on everything and then give them trample. Felt really strong at a lot of points. Ranger Class obviously was decent too, but I feel like this was kind of the story of this deck. The games we won and the games that were impressive were either on the back of this or this, and I'd like to see more Dean, I think. Yeah, Witch plus Innkeeper sounds really decent together. All right. Any rate, after that last game,